What is going on, Eagles Nation? Welcome to today's episode of Weekly Chirp. Stephen Helman here alongside Tom Moresco and taking it to the couch.
Yeah, we got a new environment. We felt we needed to change the scenery a little bit, so we did that, and that was just because I was too lazy to get up off the couch, which is also my bed. So
I think it was a combination. We went some scenery and
laziness.
Yeah,
I'll admit it.
But
I was watching,
but not
Golden
full
State,
laziness.
I was.
Give yourself some credit.
Doing
it's not all
what I got to do.
Yeah.
Always watching highlights here and watching interviews and all of the whatnot.
Staying in tune.
And
the rumblings and the rumors and what people are saying. And speaking of what people are saying, got to segue that there. Doug Pederson's comment on Dak Prescott.
Yeah, he was on a Cowboys radio.
I thought it was 94.1.
Yeah, they put the graphic out, but someone said he was on like a Cowboys radio station or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I actually didn't listen to the clip. I just saw that. I want to listen to it, but I just saw that that quote, and it's completely factual. I mean, it's not to say that Dak Prescott. So what he said was that Dak Prescott didn't have to win the Cowboys games last year.
Yeah.
In comparison to Wentz. Now, does that mean Dak Prescott didn't contribute to wins or maybe even win them a couple games? Not at all. Because Dak Prescott definitely played a huge role in their success last year. But what he was saying is that every single week they didn't ask Dak Prescott to go out there and win them the game and be the best player on the team. There was, Ezekiel Elliott. There were, the Cowboys playmakers. They have a bunch of them. So that tells me that Pederson is aware that they asked far too much of Carson Wentz, and it to me says more about Carson Wentz than it does Dak Prescott, who was on a Cowboys team that didn't throw the ball a whole lot. As a matter of fact, their passing percentage was the lowest in the league, and they won 13 games. So you look at that and you say, wow, well they asked Prescott to make plays, but they didn't overwork him. They maybe underworked the guy. I mean, they barely threw the ball at all. So, but he made big plays when they needed him to, and that's what he was able to do and show that he can make those big plays. But the fact remains that Carson Wentz didn't have guys that were making plays around him, and we all know that. So I think that it shows Pederson's awareness in the situation, and then the offseason reflected exactly that attitude. Is we overworked Carson Wentz to the point where you can't rely on a rookie quarterback or even a young quarterback to win you games in the NFL. And you see his rookie quarterbacks' arsenals, young quarterbacks' arsenals improve around them. You look at Derek Carr, he got Amari Cooper, he got Michael Crabtree. They upgraded the line with Kelechi Osemele last offseason, who was a big-time free agent offensive lineman. They got Latavius Murray and now Marshawn Lynch, so they're getting their run game back, that pounding run game back, and you see all those things that come up around Derek Carr, and you wonder, I wonder why that team's good, and things like that. So it's about having everyone, and then on top of that, Carr's really good. So I'm really excited ultimately to see Wentz with these guys.
Exactly. I mean, you can tell that obviously. The plan in 2016 was to start Sam Bradford as the crash test dummy, and they could have traded Sammy B before probably for a third or second. They were still no, which would have been good value for Sam Bradford, but they were nope. And then when they got the first round pick, they couldn't really refuse that. I mean, you couldn't really refuse that, so that kind of altered the plan, and that's why Wentz got in there. But you could tell that they weren't comfortable. They knew that this team wasn't good enough to really put their rookie in there, but
ironically, he became probably the reason that the Eagles were in a lot of games.
Exactly.
Despite some of the turnovers that hurt us.
I think he exceeded the organization's expectations.
Yeah, I think that they had confidence in him, but the way he started out, and even people say he regressed over the season, and I can see why you'd think that, but he was up against it in every game, and he just kept making plays. He would come back and keep making plays, and even though it doesn't show up on the stat sheet, when you watched the games, you knew his presence out there was felt every time he was on the field. You felt like he could make something happen, and he would make throws and make plays. And this team was in a lot of games that they lost, and you could see that oh, if we just had that one playmaker. Oh, if we just had a running back that could have got us that yard without fumbling, or you know, a coach that didn't go for it on 4th down and just show his complete inexperience and just complete putting. I think he realizes that they put Carson Wentz in situations that were a little too ridiculous to ask at any quarterback. And I think that the way he handled the year in itself, in general, given all the circumstances, the starting before the season, 8 days before the season, getting full reps. You know, he didn't have that full off season. He was a rookie. You know, there's standard things like that. He was just a rookie quarterback coming into the NFL. Had everything, all of that, all the draft, all of that. It's just a completely different situation this year. He's going to be the starter the whole time. He also didn't have a lot of weapons last year. Now he has a bunch of guys that are going to compete, and there's guys that are proven players on this team.
Yeah.
You know, it's just completely different. Doug Pederson's a year in. They all know the offense 1 year further. You know, there's guys that are in there that understand how to operate in this offense. So it's just going to be a lot different.
Yeah.
I think that, you know, despite what Dak Prescott did and all of that with the Cowboys, they were a good team, but it has nothing to do with Carson Wentz. And I think that Pederson's comment was more a reflection on what he believes he needs to do to help Carson Wentz moving forward, seeing what these other young quarterbacks, not just Dak, but everyone, Mariota, Carr, Winston, what are their teams doing? They're loading up around them. Like Corey Davis was drafted 5th overall for Marcus Mariota. They drafted Taywan Taylor later in this draft, another receiver. DeMarco Murray and Derrick Henry in their backfield. They built their O-line with Jack Conklin last year. They built around Mariota. They made sure they got players around Mariota. The Raiders, we already talked about what they did. Jameis Winston, D-Jax, Mike Evans, O.J. Howard in the 1st round.
Yeah.
Look what these teams are doing around their young quarterbacks, and it's about damn time that we got Carson Wentz some weapons. And, you know, it's only his 2nd year, so it's a year too late. We should have had him last year, but, you know, couldn't ask the front office to do all that. So, but it's about time we're going to get to see this guy. I mean, it was only 1 season. It's not like we had to wait too long, but, you know, we got these weapons in town, and that's good. It's any amount of time our quarterback has to go about it without sufficient talent around him is too much time without it. So it's, you know, it's about time that we're going to get to see this guy really just really shine. And it's going to be an exciting time to see him grow and see him develop with these new receivers and things like that. So it's good.
No, it's going to be good. It's an exciting time, guys. So we will see you.
By the way, OTAs
start today.
Yeah, they start today. And we'll bring you some of the stuff on Bird Buzz when you hear all everything that happens at OTAs, and you know, obviously all Eagles fans are gonna go nuts. And
Vinny Curry with the swim move.
Vinny Curry with the swim moves is gonna. He's predicting Vinny Curry has a breakout season.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not saying that.
He always talks about Vinny Curry. He always does.
I just like to say I want him to be good, but
we want Vinny Curry to be good. So we'll report from OTAs, see what he's doing. Him and Chris Long plus Derek Barnett
taking a hard look at Vinny Curry
and then Brandon Graham. That's your 4 ends right there that are gonna just be rotating in there, and it's a nice group.
Taking some long looks at Bryce Treggs.
Who are your top players to watch in OTAs? Let's hit them with that, and then we'll end.
Okay.
Give me a defense and offense.
Offense, I'm gonna say. Let's go with Aguilar.
Aguilar on offense and on defense.
And defense, I'll go with Rasul Douglas.
Okay, Rasul Douglas, who might be a starter, and Nelson Aguilar, who has a chance to grow under the new receivers coach and some competition.
Very low expectations for Aguilar.
I'm gonna say the easy one is I'm gonna look for Carson Wentz throwing the ball to the new receivers, Alshon Jeffrey. You know, that's definitely the offense, and maybe Torrey Smith too. But you know, sticking with just a very small selection.
Yeah, I like Torrey Smith. I was thinking that one.
Yeah, Torrey Smith's gonna be good, but I like Wentz to Jeffrey. Obviously, everyone wants to know how that's working out. And then I'd say maybe Donnell Pumphrey's another guy on offense. And then on defense, I want to see Yeah, some of the young
Timmy
corners.
Thick.
Yeah, Timmy Jernigan and yeah, he's going to be. But it's no real hitting. So Rasul Douglas going up against receivers and stuff. And that's a good snag. So it's a good pick there. And yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see if these guys really what they can do, and it's about that time to start rolling into the season. So we're getting closer and closer to training camp and preseason. Imagine, we're about 2 months away from training camp. So
yeah.
I mean that's how quick things get up on you. And it's the NFL. It's all year round. So we'll watch the NBA finals and we'll be right into a countdown to training camp. So
yeah. All right,
Bird Buzz.
Well, yeah, there we go. See you on Bird Buzz. Have a good rest of your day. Good rest of your week.